Welcome to the gift of being home. I'm Ann Lovely, CEO of Coastal Hospice, and for years, we've had the privilege of walking alongside families here on the Lower Eastern Shore during some of life's most sacred and vulnerable moments. And one thing we hear over and over again is this: we wish we had known sooner. Hospice is often misunderstood. Families wait too long. Caregivers feel like they're doing it all alone, and fear can take the place of understanding. So we created this space. For 46 years, our community has trusted Coastal Hospice to provide comfort, dignity, and support at the end of life. And this podcast is just an extension of that. We're here to talk honestly about what hospice really is, when to call, and how to care for someone you love with more confidence and peace. We'll walk through things like when hospice is appropriate, what the final days can look like, how to manage pain without fear, and how to support caregivers along the way. Whether you're caring for someone, referring patients, or just trying to understand more, this is a place for clarity and compassion. Because being home isn't just a place, it's about comfort, peace, and love. I'm really glad you're here.
Hi everyone, we're so glad you're here with us today. For this conversation, we're going to be talking about something we hear all the time from families. We wish we had called hospice sooner. It's a powerful statement and one that really speaks to how much people learn about hospice after they actually experience it. And who better to have with me today in this conversation than Ann Lovely? Ann is the president and CEO here at Coastal Hospice, and she brings such a thoughtful and experienced perspective to this topic. Ann, thank you so much for joining me today. To start us off, why do you think we hear so often from families that they wish they had called hospice sooner?
Well, thank you, Lauren, for having me. I think this is something that we hear so often because families just don't understand how supportive hospice can be. I think that sometimes they are fearful of calling and they just don't, realize that we could have helped them sooner.
That's such an important point. Can you tell us a little bit more about what families actually often don't realize about the level of support hospice provides until they actually experience it?
Well, I think sometimes people, when they hear hospice, they think of a place instead of a service. And hospice is a service that is provided in your home or wherever you call home. So we do have patients in facilities as well. So when we are able to support families, it could be in the home or it could be an extra set of eyes in a facility. The services that we provide help you to provide the care that you need in the home. We provide DME equipment. We help with medications. We help with bathing. We have volunteers that sit with the families. So I think when people think of hospice, they don't think of everything that we do.
I totally understand. And I love that you explained that it's more just than the nurse going out to see them. We have a whole interdisciplinary team working not just with the patient, but walking alongside with the families. How does getting hospice involved earlier impact things like symptom management and overall quality of life?
Well, our goal is always to have a patient free of their symptoms so that they can enjoy the rest of their life and have quality of life at the end. We want them to be able to do the things that they like to do. I'll never forget having a patient one time. His biggest goal was to be able to sit at the table again with his wife to have dinner. And that's what we worked on. We worked on how to get his pain under control so he could do that again. So we like to be able to meet patients where they are and get their symptoms under control.
And I think it's so meaningful that hospice supports more than just the patient. Can you share with us more about how families are supported as well through this journey?
Well, I think first we need to talk about the education that they receive from the nurses. The nurses help the families understand the disease process. The patient learns more about their medications and how to take them. The aides come in and they teach the family how to care for the loved one. They help with bathing and all kinds of things in the home. Then we have the social worker who comes in and they give all types of support and resources, and they may help with things like advanced directives. And then we have our spiritual counselors who come in and they offer spiritual support, not always religious support unless that's what you want. And we even have a music therapist who comes in, and that to me is healing. Music is very healing to a lot of people. And then we also have the volunteers. These volunteers, they come in, we try to match you with someone who is, has things in common with you, and they come out, they sometimes talk up the patient, talk with them, but sometimes they're that support to the family as well. And they will kind of be someone that they can talk to, or they also may be able to give them a little respite so that they can maybe run out and run some errands. So all of our disciplines support the family by teaching, by being that support, and then even by giving them a little bit of a break.
Wow, that's very encouraging to hear. And when families wait too long, what are some of the things they might miss out on during that time?
Sometimes it's just really hard when we get someone very close to the end of life because they come in crisis. And it's a little harder because when they are in that crisis mode, when you're in that crisis mode, it's difficult to be teaching all of those things that I mentioned before. Sometimes that nurse is just coming in and just trying to get that patient, their symptoms under control, teaching that family, very in a fast kind of mode about what they're seeing, what they're experiencing with their loved one. So sometimes, it's a little more difficult when it's in that rushed kind of end crisis time. Whereas if they came in sooner, it's something that you see gradually happening. And so you are learning and being taught these things as the time goes, instead of in that crisis.
Now, for anyone who might still be a little hesitant, how would you reframe hospice as something that adds care rather than takes away anything from them or their loved one?
Well, I'm just thinking if you're listening to this recording today, you're probably considering hospice for yourself or for a loved one. So I just kind of want to say to you that hospice is here to help you. We are always keeping your wishes and your goals in mind, and we will walk alongside you and just kind of meet you wherever you are. And speaking of meeting, well, actually, if you give us a call, we'll come out and meet with you and kind of discuss, and we can discuss further what your goals are and how hospice can help you.
And this has been such a powerful conversation. And I think one of the biggest takeaways is that hospice is truly about adding support, comfort, and connection earlier rather than later. Hearing "we wish we called hospice sooner" really reflects on how meaningful that extra layer of care can be, not just for patients, but their family as well. And thank you so much for sharing your perspective and helping bring awareness to such an important message today. And thank you to everyone who has joined us today. We're glad that you spent this time with us, and I really hope this conversation encourages you to start the conversation sooner and feel confident in reaching out when the time feels right to you. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.